Cassie, who seemingly is saying, hey, anytime, anywhere, any day, I'll be there. Just bring the baby oil. She was down for the freak off whenever. Wait, what? Says timeout. Where they're getting these texts from. Everyone's devices were seized, and there were subpoenas sent out to phone companies. They have all the text messages between them.
I am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. And, of course, the biggest news throughout the whole entire week was this Diddy trial. Now, yes, DDG getting canceled by Halle Bailey was a thing that's happening, and it's still going on, but it kind of relates to the same situation in a way and in a sense because it is dealing with domestic violence, not necessarily freak-offs. But, yeah, the Diddy case is full throttle. Cassie is on the stand. She will be on the stand, I believe, today. Today is Friday, so I believe she will be on the stand today. And I don't know what more Diddy's defense shall have to ask her or shall say. We shall see. At the end of the day, I'm really not into the court shit. I didn't grow up like in Law and Order. Like, I know that's people love Law and Order. I wasn't my cup of tea. So when it comes to all, look, I'm the type. Let's get to it. Did he do it or not? Like, let's get to the. Come on, enough of the fluff. Like, let's get to the point. That's me. So, regardless of it, I'm honestly waiting on that to see if Diddy's found guilty or not guilty, and the sentencing, and see how long and how much time he gets, and really truly how bad was the things that they're accusing him of. Like, was he really that terrible of a person? Like, that's what I'm looking into and seeing and referring and wanting to see the highlights of. All the intricacies and just everything else. Got it. Got it. So, yeah, I will, at least as long as this case is going on and as long as this trial is going on, every week, at least here at I Am Savvy Mike TV, we'll try to update you when we can on at least the highlight of whatever that day of the court proceeding was. And today, apparently, Cassie didn't mind doing the freak offs as long as it pleased Puffy. Let's listen.
Come through. We're trying to figure out where she's going. I feel like we have a good grasp. Here we go, though. So now, these messages about the freak off. Okay, look like she's about to do the play now. When you say, it don't matter to me, you mean weekend or weekday, either is fine. Oh, interesting. Ventura says that's what it says. So she's agreeing with the message. So it look like there's a message about the freak off where she says, you know, it doesn't matter to me, Sean. You mean weekend or weekday, either is fine. She says that's what it says. Estabo says, Mr. Combs says, maybe we can call Jules. Can you do it? She says yes. All right, chat. It's about to happen now. It's about to happen. They're about to lock in on her ass. So what they set up initially was Cassie even bringing up the idea of family, kids. Cassie saying and volunteering the idea of, Diddy, I want to be with you so much, I'll fly anywhere for you. Cassie, who seemingly is saying, hey, anytime, anywhere, any day, I'll be there. Just bring the baby oil. She was down for the freak off whenever. Wait, what? Says timeout. Where they're getting these texts from. Everyone's devices were seized, and there were subpoenas sent out to phone companies. They have all the text messages between them. Last night, so what happens is you enter text or you enter exhibits into evidence that you plan to bring up in court. Last night, after Cassie got finished with her her direct, they got out of court at 5. Diddy's defense team stayed up till 3 a.m. and came up with 400 more exhibits. We don't know if they're all text, but these ones are text. They're using these texts to counteract what she said yesterday. That's their goal. That's their first goal. And then they're going to go into their original plan of breaking her down. So these exhibits and text messages we're talking about, where you're saying where they're coming from, they've always been there. They pulled 400 more of them yesterday or last night or this morning, actually, at 3 a.m. Gustavo says there was an explicit message about you about the anticipated upcoming freak off. AUSA says objection. Now the AUSA is tight. The AUSA has already brought up that they believe that Diddy's team is trying to do a trial by ambush, which means that they're trying to pop up in court with shit that they had no chance to be prepared for. Someone said this trial might be better reading it. Well, if we could watch it, it would have been crazy. Watching it would be insane. Especially if we could look at the faces of a few people. The faces of Diddy family. The faces of Alex Fine. The face of Diddy himself, of course. The six pack of white milk. You know what I mean? The white women who are all sitting at the prosecution table. The 9 lawyers huddled around Diddy. And obviously they would never show this, but the jurors. The jurors are seeing sex tapes, pornographic images. Like, you have to imagine some of these things are going to be super graphic. Do you ever see the pictures that got leaked of Cassie? There were rumors that some of these pictures and videos of Cassie that Diddy was taking would be sometimes after a multi-day freak off. Now, I want to give you the image of this. At the end of the day, it's still flesh and blood and skin, bro. Apparently, her vajayjay would be looking like a gaping hole after multiple and several big dick escorts done ran in there, and they have done, I don't know if they were sticking shit in her, but Diddy would have her spread out and would take pictures of the damage done. It just looks like a gaping hole. For whatever reason, he was into that. If you're on the jury and you're seeing this shit, like, it looked like after the freak off, it looked like she about to give birth. Like, whoa. Like, I see London. I see France. What the fuck? Chat, the face of the jury looking at something. That's why they got privacy screens up. Because there's some really sick shit you could be experiencing in this case. Go back to some of the pictures that got leaked. There's one where she's just laying back with her feet wide open. Yeah, y'all could Google it on the side. But I heard there's much worse pictures because remember, there's videos too. There was videos of her being penetrated by a dude. And then there's pictures afterwards where you got to imagine Diddy done fucked her maybe 8-9 times. Remember, it's days long. She's off all type of drugs. Diddy would have these guys beat the pussy up into submission, tenderize that bitch. One after the other. She got a UTI. She is in pain. God knows what else other, I think they did do a good job of, having some type of respect for maybe even other health ailments. Because if you think that a UTI is the only thing they caught up in them freak offs, you're sadly mistaken. Remember, we have a prostitute who claims he contracted the herpes virus, and he claims it was during the freak offs. So you put 1 and 1 together, and if you get 11, that's on you. But if you get 2, you know what you're talking about. So Cassie was, in her opinion, was forced to perform no matter what was going on. UTI, yeast infection, breakouts, whatever the fuck may have been the situation. And Diddy would have nigga after nigga after nigga. And at times, they said Diddy would say, they said, you can't send a boy to go do a man's job. They said Diddy would say, man, get out that pussy. It's my turn. It's my turn now on some Skip Bayless. It's my turn now. So he go fuck her for a bit. And then sometimes, apparently, he'd be on some extra freaky shit. He'd put a camera there and go watch it from the next room. You know what he was probably doing? He want to look at the man, not the woman. Come on now. But all of these things supposedly exist, and this is why when we talk about, someone says it's probably better reading it. Yeah, we get to do Sports Center shit here, right? Like when I'm here, I get to do Sports Center shit. But if we could watch it, especially if we could see the faces of those people, we ain't even got to see the sex tapes. If you see Cassie with a fucking football-size gaping hole after a 4-day-long, 24/7 freak-off just ended, you might be like, damn, holy. Anyway. The judge says we're going to take a recess. I guarantee that recess is because, I keep telling you, they're objecting to everything. The AUSA feels like Diddy's lawyers are trying to ambush Cassie and ambush their case. Diddy has 9 lawyers, access to all the paralegals, and they came prepared. They came with 400 new shit today that they got from added on from yesterday. You know what Diddy's lawyers are saying to the AUSA? It's not like we went out and got this independently. You gave us this in discovery. You gave us, remember how voluminous the discovery was. Terabytes on terabytes of data. From security footage to not only that, but also gigabytes and gigabytes of just text messages. So there's a lot of text messages that won't get used. But now what they're going to do is they're going to go back and be like, oh, she did say this on the stand yesterday. Let's go find a message that correlates and it actually goes against what she just said. We're going to ask her about that. So they're going to come in every day. And I think the judges said, hey, listen, could you not show up every morning with like a bunch of new shit? They're telling the judge, how can we not? We're on defense. We're reacting to what was said yesterday. It's not like we're bringing some new shit that is just going to be us making our case. We're reacting to this witness and what they said. Now, granted, they shouldn't do it again for tomorrow because tomorrow, whatever you had going into today, you should have for whatever the rest of the time she's on the stand. If they do it for tomorrow, the judge is going to scold them, I think. So they're taking a break.
Weird descriptions of what things are. Trafficking is now assumed to be you flying a woman out. Just because if you flew her out and you bought her some things and then she gave you sex, that's considered prostitution, which is crazy to me. But if you can make it work out that way in your favor, then yeah. But right now the real question is Cassie, like, was she enabling it? Was she a willing participant up until the money dried up? Because that's basically what the defense is trying to paint her out to be. They're trying to paint her out to be a person that willingly participated in these things, willingly wanted to be with Puff, loved Puff, had every opportunity to leave, every chance to leave, never took it, and stayed until she wasn't basically benefiting from the lifestyle of being with Puff anymore. So that's what the defense right now is trying to paint her as. And we'll see by the day. Like, this is Cassie's last day on the stand. She was like on the stand. She's been on the stand since Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. So this is her last day on the stand to get every question out, hear everything that she has to say. And she was very vulnerable while talking with the prosecution's lawyers. Like, she was very vulnerable with them, crying on the stand and whatnot. And she's seeming very cold-hearted with Diddy's attorneys, like kind of knowing who she's dealing with, knowing who she's talking to, and understanding what they're about to do to try and spin this to make it seem like she wasn't a victim in this situation, and she feels like she truly was, and she has every right to, because at the end of the day, she was. Once that video came out of Diddy beating on her, she was a victim. At the end of the day, that's all the proof we needed to know that whatever the situation was between them, it was a toxic one, and they shouldn't have been together. whether Diddy was using her for free calls or not. So yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. Peace.